All right. I hope everyone is doing awesome. So, guys, today I'm going to bring you superb skill. This skill, if you can really master, you can resolve conflict in your life at any point of time and with anyone. And if you can really master this, trust me, your growth and your life will be super, super, super cool and super speedy. And if you see currently, in this corona thing, all this lockdown thing, so many conflicts we come across. Many people who have never lived with their family because of work busyness, everything, they started living with the family and they have conflicts with their spouse. They are starting having conflict with their kids, and unknown territory problems are starting coming into mind. Now many people are facing challenges कि यार जब ऑफिस स्टार्ट होता है, ऑफिस में भी बहुत सारे लोग अपने सबऑर्डिनेट से काम नहीं कर पाते. People do not know how to make get the work done without hurting people's ego, and you can't tell people कि यार भाई तू काम नहीं कर रहा घर पे रह के, you're just wasting time. How can you bring the output? How can you increase the productivity? You have multiple challenges. If you have a girlfriend, if you're young, you must be initially it will all be honeymoon period, but after some time when your girlfriend knows about you in and out, and then everything will like tanebazi. If you go to a bathroom and if you go take a bath and come out after the bathroom, and your girlfriend tells यार तुमने अपना बाथरूम गंदा कर दिया, और तुम बाथरूम के अंदर जाते हो, बोलते हो यार बाथरूम तो सबसे ठीक है, साफ ही तो है, गंदा कहाँ है. सो आप इग्नोर कर लेते हो. वापस से नेक्स्ट दिन आप जाते हो एंड योर स्पाउस अगेन टेल्स कि यार ये तुमने वापस बाथरूम वापस से गंदा कर दिया. ऐसे करते 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 यार पूरा 1-2 महीना हो जाता है, एंड यू बिकम सो फ्रस्ट्रेटेड, एंड वन डे यू टेल मी व्हाट इज गंदा. ऑलरेडी इट इज वेरी साफ एंड साफ सुथरा, गंदा कैसे हो गया? And the crux, you exactly know what ganda means. You'll come to know when I'll be speaking about third alternative in just few minutes. So these are the real life situation. In fact, in my case, I live with my roommate who's my college friend. So we don't have any cook or maid, and the house is full of mess. How to make the house in a better way? And for this reason we used to fight कि हमारा झगड़ा रहता है कि यार तू कचरा तू डाल दे, साफ कर दे ये, you wash the house, or I will cook the food, or who will wash the utensils. In small things will create conflict. And not only this, but when you go transcend that, when you start talking to your peers and colleagues, you have a deadline to meet, and you want them to deliver it. But for some reason when you're working, you don't know what they are working, and that is when the gap comes, and ultimately your project doesn't deliver, and you become super frustrated, and you think यार ये बंदा काम करता ही नहीं है, इसको कैसे करना हो. And you super challenging conflicts you face with your parents sometime. पापा को अपने बेटों से शादी करवाना है, शादी के बाद उनको बच्चे करवाने हैं, but you don't know how to communicate that to your parent, and that way you create some conflict. So life is full of conflicts, guys, such में. And to resolve this conflict, we studied an approach called third alternative in my last video as well. And the third alternative approach requires you to be a synergistic person. And for you to become a synergistic person, one thing is that you have to have a mindset of that. What do I mean when I say mindset? Let me share you the slide of it. So we learned about paradigm of synergy, right? So before coming to a solution, we have to understand हमारा mental paradigm क्या है. That is what we discussed in the last time. So after we know what kind of mindset we have, we can create this synergy with anyone else as long as he is sensible. कोई साइको बंदा के साथ आप ये थर्ड अल्टरनेटिव अप्लाई करोगे तो आपको बैकफायर कर जाएगा. तो you have to use some common sense there. So I hope you will use that. So when you understand the paradigms of synergy, this is where the key thing is. जो आपको मैं भी स्किल बताने वाला हूँ थर्ड अल्टरनेटिव का, उसका क्रक्स यही है. Whenever you're bringing third alternative approach, whenever you're bringing synergy with anyone else, with your team, the concept of empathy has to be there. What is empathy? Empathy is बहुत simple meaning है दोस्त. Empathy का मतलब first of all ये नहीं कि आप किसी के ऊपर sympathy लेके आओ. If someone is in tremendous pain, that you also go to his side and feel the pain and cry. That is not the empathy mean all about. Empathy just means if you just go to a, let's say, movie. आप एक movie जाते हो, let's say एक movie recently एक movie आया था, and you go inside the movie and you watch that movie, each and everything connects with you, and you really feel the pain of that particular lady who was going through that tremendous of pain, and she had so many degrees in her kitty, and she left everything just for marriage, and after few years of marriage her husband doesn't even appreciate that what she did for him, Rather, he took him for granted. He took her for granted, and he slapped her in front of everyone. And that is when lots of conflict happened in her mind, and she could not carry forward with it, and she divorced him. And that is a second alternative thought approach for both of us. What happened? So when you saw that movie, you really feel empathy about it. You really feel the pain what she has going through, if you have ever faced. Or you take any movie in the picture, in the realistic life, whichever you loved, आपको उस मूवी का पेन फील होता है फॉर एटलीस्ट 2 आवर्स. उसके बाद when you come to reality, everything is normal. Empathy का मतलब वही होता है. Whenever you talk to anyone, whenever you want to bring any combined collaborative win-win situation wale ideas, you have to learn the art of listening and art of being an empathetic listener. Empathetic listener doesn't mean a active listener. Many people who are very skilled, they use active listening as a criteria to get hold of that point. But actually, to be honest, if you use active listening in a wrong place, what happens, the other person feels that you're manipulating him, and because you're manipulating, you will lose the person. So that is what you will use. So I'll just connect all this empathy in the skill, which I'll be sharing in just 1 or 2 minutes. So stay tuned. Great. So Abhi, I'll talk about 4 steps which can give you a synergical approach, and this will make you synergetic personality. So what it is? This is a very basic, fundamental 1, 2, 3, 4 approach. So you can also take it. It's a very simple approach. Pehla approach hai ask. Whenever there's a problem, whenever there's a conflict behind it, ask the other person whether he's willing to bring out a new approach, a new solution, where उसका भी ना हो और आपका भी ना हो, और आप दोनों से अच्छा एक solution आए. So you have to create a win-win situation. That is what the moral is. And that win-win situation will be the bigger solution of what you or he proposes as a single entity. So ये हो गया ask. So whenever you ask someone, use this technology. When you go to a restaurant, आप जब रेस्टोरेंट जाते हो, आपको अगर कुछ खाना वाना चाहिए होता है, तब क्या करते हो? You order whatever dishes you want, and the waiter takes up all the learnings. And waiter क्या करता है, before he goes to the chef to for cook and all, वो confirm करता है आपसे confirm करता है कि सर जी, अच्छा आपको ये वेज पुलाव चाहिए, ये वेज कुरमा चाहिए, ये चाहिए. Am I right? Once you confirm, then only he takes this order and goes to the chef. This is what you need to do. Whenever you find any conflict, think about the goal, think about the end outcome, and propose that end outcome to the other person. Tell the other person. Let's say आपके बीच में बहुत सारा झगड़ा होता है, आप पूछो उससे, देख यार, हम लोग ऑलरेडी इतना झगड़ा कर चुके हैं साथ साथ, and we have already spoiled so much of time with us. Do you think if you can transcend this झगड़ा, and then and create a new life, a new process for us, so that we can live life in a harmony? We can create a solution जहाँ पे तेरा भी हो, मेरा भी हो. The moment you ask this question, any sensible guy will say yes. That is when you have to address the concern. Now, if someone is facing some conflict, you have to define that conflict first. While you're defining, use this वेटर वाला अप्रोच. जो हम लोग रेस्टोरेंट में जाते हैं, जब आते हैं लोग, द वेटर कम्स एंड टेक्स योर ऑर्डर, एग्जैक्टली इस अप्रोच को यूज करके डिफाइन कीजिए प्रॉब्लम को. When while you define the problem, make sure you really understand the other person's feeling behind the problem. That is when empathy comes. If you do these 2 steps in a very proper way, using empathy and empathetic listening, you are already 50% above the battle. And this next, third and fourth is a very creative, and it's a very storming phase where you both come up with a very interesting ideas without taking in on your own. एक ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि एक आइडिया कोई दूसरा बंदा प्रपोज करेगा, but then that idea may hurt your ego or hurt your thought process. Now, because you've covered step 1 and step 2 in a proper way, the third step would be a very easy step to do. Now what you do, third step will be that, let's say you propose an idea, and you tell the other person, this is what I'm thinking about. Why don't you add your perspective? We can probably come something better out of it. The moment you propose this idea, the other person comes and you create a solution together. आप एक नया solution बनाते हो साथ में मिलके. That is where brainstorming, synergy, सब कुछ काम आता है. And उसके बाद you come to the conclusion. And that is when arrival comes, and that is when the real synergy kicks in. अगर आप ये process को exactly step by step आपने create किया, trust me, the results are super magical. And to give you a bonus point, let me tell you where I have learned this. I have learned this from Peak Impact Mentorship for sure, and from my mentor, who is Vijay. and who keeps expertise in when it comes to conflict management. And I learned him big time, and I have used third alternative in conflict management, synergical approach everywhere in my life, in my corporate career, in my personal life, everywhere. And I have every day try to improve in that area. I would not say I'm completely perfect at that in this area, but I loved it because last year जब मैंने थर्ड अल्टरनेटिव अप्लाई किया था मेरे जॉब स्विच में, you won't believe it, but actually I could crack 100% hike just because of third alternative approach. So guys, it is magical approach. It practically, if you can really master it, you will have wonders. And just to give you one good bonus point, this approach you can learn from this book, Stephen Covey ka The Third Alternative. This is the book which I have been reading and applying, and I'm clearing all my doubts from my mentors, and then applying in a very effective way. So guys, this is what I wanted to discuss. And definitely this approach, by when you apply in different parts of life, the science, everything is different, you will get lots of doubt. Easily I've left my nomination link with you. If you have any doubt, if you have any questions on this, if you have any ideas to share, do nominate yourself and we can connect offline and discuss in a proper way, because this is the most highest paid skill. If you still don't know, then be with me. Mark my words. Maybe after 5 years, you will realize how powerful the skill of third alternative is. So, guys, really glad talking to you all. I hope I added some value. We will definitely meet up, and people who want to connect with me, they can also participate in our book club, where we share wonderful set of practical concepts from different set of world-class books to share and grow together. Thank you, guys, and good night.